Right, everyone's obviously talking about the Groves fight coming up. Are you confident it is actually going to happen? Because obviously boxing fans are desperate for it to go ahead.
Of course. I'm confident it's going to happen. This part of the year I've heard rumours May time. So yeah, it's only right. It's got to happen. He's my mandatory challenger for my belt. Anyway, so yeah, I'm confident it's going to happen this part of the year.
Do you think the bid put in by him and his team were genuine or stalling tactics?
I'm not too sure. I think probably stalling tactics, to be honest. To be honest, I don't think they really want the fight.
Do you think he's afraid of you?
To be honest, yeah, he knows he's going to get knocked out. But listen, he's my mandatory challenger, so he has to fight me. Otherwise, he has to move on. So, as I say, man, I'm confident it's going to happen this part of the year, and I can't wait.
Are you bothered as to where it's going to happen, the location?
It's got to be London. We're both from London. We're both, well, I'm from North West, he's from West London. So a nice venue around there, and it would be great. It would be a nice sellout. I think, listen, it's probably the most domestic fight people want to see. So it's got to happen.
There's obviously a lot of rivalry between you guys. Is there a genuine, massive dislike for the guy, or is it a sort of build-up for cameras and stuff?
Not like Ugly Boy. Serious. Listen, he's lived in my shadow for half his life. He was at the same amateur club. Basically, he wanted to do everything that I did, and he couldn't do it. I was just leagues above him, and I was the boss. And basically, I've been to Olympics. I won ABA titles when I was 18. I went to the Commonwealth Games when I was like 18, 19. And he basically just lived in my shadow. He was always that little ugly kid behind James DeGale, and that's a fact.
He did beat you in amateur level. Does that make Does that make you more determined?
Yeah, but listen, look where I am, look where he is. If you want to get deep into it, and after he beat me, we both got put in the same tournament up in Sheffield, right? I beat two people that he lost to in the same weekend. How on earth could Terry Edwards, the England coach at the time, pick him to go to the qualifiers for the Olympics? It just weren't possible. So basically, yeah, just because that silly win over me in the ABAs, he's lived off that, and he's still living off it, and now he's going to get a nice payday, but get knocked out for it.
So you think you're hearing May the 21st?
That's what I'm hearing. It's in the boxing news. So I'm just waiting for the call from Frank for the date and venue.
Moving on from Groves, your last fight was against Paul Smith, and you beat him in the 9th round to become British super middleweight champion. Did you think that would be as one-sided as it was? Because it's obviously a big step up for you.
It was a massive step up, but I always said, as soon as it got announced, I said it would be easy work. Yeah, and I destroyed him within that 9 rounds. But he's a great champion, and he'll definitely be back. I've known his younger brother for years. We was in the same squad together. But yeah, man, he'll be back. But I said it from day dot that I'd beat him comfortably, and that's what I did.
Now, obviously, you are friends with him and his family. Does that make it harder having a personal connection? You know, fighting someone with a personal connection, or once you get in the ring, is it literally just business as usual? Yeah,
it was business. It wasn't personal. It was just business. He had something that I wanted, the British title. So I had to get in there and fight him. To be honest, I ain't really heard from the family or like the younger brother, but I can expect that.
Congratulations.
No. But yeah, but hopefully when I see his younger brother, we'll just shake hands and hopefully it will be forgotten.
Okay, so you obviously won gold medal in the 2008 Olympics. Was that a hard decision to move from that, obviously, to pro, with London holding the Olympics next year as well?
Of course. Listen, when I got back from the Olympics, I was still in the Olympic bubble. I didn't know if I was going to turn pro or stay amateur for 2012. But one of my dreams is to become a professional world champion. So I had to strike while the iron's hot and turn pro. Obviously, I still get a bit itchy feet now when I see it's going to be in London. I see all the stadiums and this and that. But listen, I'm very happy. I'm at a happy place now. I've got a great promoter, a great trainer and a great team. And I'm just happy, man. I wake up every morning with a big smile on my face knowing that I do something I love. And I'm doing well at it. So, yeah, man, I'm happy at the minute.
That's a good way to be. Audley Harrison obviously proved that Olympic titles don't always prove professional success. What makes you a different fighter?
what makes me different fighter? Because I've got everything. I'm the full shebang. Like Ollie Harrison had all the skills to pay the bills, but did he have that heart to play the part? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. But yeah, man, I'm the full shebang. As I say, no one's actually seen the best of me yet at all. They've seen me go 9 rounds with Paul Smith, the best super middleweight in the country, but that's about it. That was only 40% of me. I had like a couple gears left in that fight, and you guys are only going to see the best of me when I step up to the top level, to world level.
Okay, well, obviously today we've been seeing you train with Jim McDonnell, and it's been I was looking at it, looks absolutely relentless to me. Talk me through how it's all going, training.
Training's going great, man. As I say, I've got one of the best coaches in the world, in Jim McDonnell, a former world champion contender, European champion. So he's been there, he's done it. He knows the coup. He knows all the graft we have to put in. So yeah, man, I get trained very hard. So every time I walk to the ring, I've got a big smile on my face because I know all the graft's done. So I can get in there and do 12 rounds. Easy.
Has it made a difference in your sort of training regime going up the rounds, you know, the further you've gone on in your fights?
Has it?
In terms of your training regimes, obviously you started off with 4 and then 6 rounds and then 12 rounds. Has it obviously changed a lot with your training?
Of course, but as soon as I turned pro, Jim McDonnell said, you're training for a 4-round fight but a 12-round career, and we've always had that. So I've been training for like 4 rounds when I first turned pro, but we've been training for a 12-round career. So I'm always fit, and like, since I've turned pro, we've been training for a 12-round career. So yeah, obviously it's a total different change from training as an amateur going to the pros, but I think I've adapted nice, and I do the 12 rounds comfortable.
Do you have to stick to a very strict diet? Can you stick to it?
Yeah, I love my food, man. That's what
who doesn't?
Yeah, I love my food. I've got the fat gene in the family as well, man. So I've got to watch my food. Yeah, I've got to watch my food and that. But yeah, listen, I make super middleweight easy. Like when I first turned pro, I was thinking about doing middleweight. But yeah, I do super middleweight comfortable. Still have to watch it 6 weeks prior to my fight. But yeah, I'm only about £10 over now.
Cool. And I hear that you went over to Mayweather's camp. What was that experience? What did you learn from that experience?
That was unbelievable. Obviously, to watch Floyd Mayweather, one of my heroes, train for like 10 days, see him spar, see all the hard work he puts in. It was just the inspiration, and to watch him just train. The graft he puts in is unbelievable. People look at him and go, "Oh, arrogant, he's that, he's this," but all the hard work he puts in the gym, that's why he is like that.
Can you see any sort of similarities in obviously the 2 training camps and what you'd learn from him?
Yeah, of course. I say, man, he puts in a lot of hard work, and some of our drills are similar to his. Like I just did there 12 rounds non-stop without a rest, and he did something similar to that as well. We have 30 seconds rest between rounds when we do rounds, and he does that as well. But yeah, there's similarities, definitely.
Okay, so where do you see yourself going from here? Do you want to keep, retaining the Lonsdale belt, or looking at a European or world title shot this year?
Well, to be honest, I'd like to win the British title outright, but after I've dealt with Groves, who else is there? After I knock out Ugly Kid, there's not really no one else there. So I just want to deal with him, knock him out, and then move on to bigger and better things.
You haven't been massively tested yet, or do you feel ready for a world title shot?
Listen, if Frank put that in front of me and said next month we're going to box for a world title, I'd snap his hand off for it. I feel the better of opponent I box, the better our fight and the better you lot will see me. So yeah, I think I'm ready. As I say, when I've sparred the best domestically already. I went over to Las Vegas. I sparred a couple of Mayweather's fighters. There's a fighter called Dion Savage. I think he's about 11-0 now with about 8 knockouts. That was some good hard sparring over there. So I'm sparring some good young prospects coming up. I've sparred in my first 2 years as a pro, Tony Bellew, Nathan Cleverly, Darren Barker. So I'm mixing it in the gym with the best as well.
And is there any particular fighters you have on your radar going up the levels of European and world title that you'd like to fight?
Anyone that Frank puts in front of me, I'll fight. But yeah, there's the likes of like the world title holders. Obviously, there's Carl Frock. You never know. In like a year's time or 16 months' time, that could be a great fight domestically for like a world title. That'd be massive. And you've got a couple of Americans, DeGale and Ward, but they're good fighters, man. They're like that. They're at the top scale. They're the elite fighters. But hopefully, in the next 12 months, 16 months, I'll be up there fighting with them.
Do you envision yourself being like a multi-weight champion, or just remaining in super middleweight?
No, I think after I won a couple of world titles at super middleweight, I'd like to jump up to light heavy. I think I'm big enough. I'm tall enough. I'm 6 foot. I've got a good lean frame, so I've got so I can stick on a bit more weight. So yeah, definitely light heavy's a possibility in years to come.
Do you think it's a tough transition to move up the weight?
For different people, but remember it's only £7. Like I walk around at like 12.10 anyway, so it's only £7. So I think I'll be alright.
You're a switch hitter, which obviously makes it difficult for opponents to fight you. Is that something that comes naturally to you, or something you've had to work hard at?
No, that's just natural. Like when I first started boxing at the age of 9, 10, I was an orthodox fighter, and if you look back at tapes of me winning my first schoolboy title, I was an orthodox. And then one day I just turned southpaw, and it just felt dead right. And ever since.
Is there any particular side that you favour, that you feel stronger in?
Do you know what it is? It's a weird one. I feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable as a southpaw, but it seems like when I turn orthodox, I can hit a lot harder. I don't know what it is. It's a bit of a mad one. So it's just natural. When I'm in the ring and I like turn, it's not like I go, oh, I'm going to turn orthodox now. It naturally happens. I just go boom, boom, and I throw shots from all different angles and everything. It's just a natural thing.
You mentioned you started boxing when you were 10 at the DeGale Youth Club. Who and what inspired you to get into boxing?
Well, I was a bit naughty at school.
Oh, really? Shock.
I was a bit naughty at school, so my granddad and my dad took me down to the local boxing gym to get me some discipline. And ever since I walked in the gym, I just loved it. Like, I just loved the smell. I'd love sticking on the gloves. I was only little. I was fat. I was chunky. I just got in. I remember my first spar. I sparred one Irish traveller, right, Bernie, and he punched my head in. But I loved it. I didn't mind it.
Like, welcome to the world of boxing.
I didn't mind it. I was only 10. Like, I didn't mind it. And I remember about a couple months after that, I sparred him again, and I used to batter him. So I just picked things up dead quick, and yeah, I just loved it since I walked in the gym.
Your nickname is Chunky. Is that something that was derived from childhood? Because it's obviously not apparent now.
Yeah, everyone in boxing knows me as Chunky. When I used to box for Great Britain on the squads, they never used to call me James, they used to call me Chunky. Even the coach, Terry Edwards, does. Even my coach now, Jim McDonald, now and then calls me it. My brothers, even my dad sometimes. Yeah, so James Chunky DeGale, ever since the age of 10. So it's there and it stayed. So.
And what age do you think people around you, family, friends, trainers, kind of looking at you going, all right, you know what, this kid's special, he can do something big in the sport?
Well, my mum and dad have always had faith in me. Like, they knew I was good at it. But to be honest, I never really took it serious till about 17 years of age. Like, I was winning national titles on just talent alone. I used to mess about. I never used to run. I never used to run to the age of 17. And then when I got picked to box for England, I had to start taking it serious, because I went to a tournament in Poland, and I remember me boxing just an Italian. He was big, he was strong. I won, but he gave me a bit of a hide. And not a hide, I won, but...
Your wake-up call.
Yeah, he gave me a wake-up call, man. I thought, wow, if I'm going to do this, I've got to take this serious. So ever from that day, since that day when I got back from Poland, I think I won a silver medal, but when I got back, I was running every day, watching my weight, this, that. I started taking it seriously. Ended up winning 2 A-grade titles at the age of 18, 19. Ended up getting picked to go to the Commonwealth Games. Won a bronze medal in the Commonwealth Games in 2006, Australia. And then ended up qualifying for the Olympic Games and going to win the Olympic gold medal.
Who would you say was your sort of toughest opponent when you were an amateur that kind of pushed you to sort of succeed further?
As an amateur, domestically, in like England, when I was winning my A-grade titles, it was pretty easy. But then when obviously he was going to all the different countries, like all the Eastern European countries, they're tough, man. The Russians and the Georgians and people like that, they're tough, man. So do you know what? I had a good couple scraps with Darren Sutherland. All of them were like good and close and competitive fights. So yeah, I've had a couple of good scraps with him. So yeah.
Now, when you finish your fights, what do you do to sort of relax? Are you into any other sports, football? Can you just switch off completely?
Well, to be honest, I'm always in the gym. I'm never really out the gym. Even if I come in and I do a bit of groundwork or I have a little run, I'm always in the gym really. But listen, I'm just a normal 25-year-old boy. I like socialising and like going out. I watch all different kinds of sports.
Anything in particular?
Don't mind a bit of footy. I'm a gooner.
Oh no. Yeah. Really? You're sitting 4 points behind United with a game in hand. Do you think you can actually do it this season, or are you going to choke?
Nah, I've got faith.
Like you did in the Carling Cup final?
I don't.
No, shall I not bring that up? All right, sure.
Let's drop it.
I won't tell you who I support then, because you'll just quit the interview. Now I'll tell you later. Now obviously, you're 25. You've achieved a lot. You got awarded an MBE, which is a fantastic achievement. Do you have a particular age where you can sort of envision yourself retiring?
I can't call it age because boxing's in me. I've done it since I was
more
10.
Goals as opposed to
goals and winning more titles. Like, I can't really call it age. I can't really call age or a time. Boxing's in me. That's all I've done. I've never really had a job. I had a job for a year.
Doing?
Plumbing. I did plumbing for a year. Yeah. So that's the only job I've had.
A good fallback at least.
There you go. But I've never really worked. I've never done nothing apart from boxing. Boxing's my life, so I can't really call it age in that. But once I'm a multi-millionaire and I've got all my world titles and all my accolades, then maybe I'll call it a day. But I can't call it age or nothing yet.
So by the time you retire, what's the ultimate you want to achieve throughout your whole career?
Just obviously, I want some sort of legacy to be British world champion at super middleweight, light heavyweight, and just be known as one of Britain's greatest fighters, if not Britain's greatest fighter. So I say, man, the future's bright, the future's chunky. So keep following, and it's going to be an exciting journey.
We will do. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we look forward to seeing where your career takes you.